I can't believe it. We have more United Kingdom Special Forces operators facing possible murder charges. How's it going, troops? I'm Craig, a former British soldier, and we're just discussing something that's been in the news recently that is to do with our UKSF operators and mainly to do with the SBS, but also the SAS. Just a big shout out to all of you subscribers and channel members and all of you that are viewing this video. Thank you for all of your continued support. If you could like, share and subscribe, I would hugely appreciate it. But looking at this then, so Daily Mail once again, I've done a bit of research. A lot of sort of news outlets are commenting on this. Whether we can fully trust it, who knows? But we've got 5 elite SBS soldiers are facing possible murder charges over a shooting of a Libyan terror suspect. Special Boat Service troops are facing possible murder charges over the death of suspected terrorists. The incident being investigated by military police occurred as part of secret UK Special Forces operations in the war-torn North African state. Not so secret if it's got out to the Daily Mail. According to the SBS source, up to 5 elite troops were involved in a car chase which ended with the vehicles they were driving circling the suspect's vehicle. The SBS men then fired shots into the vehicle, killing its occupant. The incident has never previously been reported. Of course it hasn't been reported. The UK Special Forces, they don't talk about the operations they do no matter where they deploy. They will never comment on the operations that they do. So they will try and keep this as secret and classified as possible. I just can't believe that we've got more of them up for murder charges. The guys are trying to do a job. It seems like they're constantly being pulled up for murder charges. We've got, where is it? You've got 5 SAS operators that are up for possible murder charges for killing up to as many as 80 Taliban suspects from 2010 to 2013. Apparently there's another SAS operator who's possibly up for a murder charge, and now they're going after the SBS. I don't know if this is just journalists who just want to, for some reason, go after our UK Special Forces to sell newspapers, or whether it's lawyers that are trying to make money from terrorists and their families. But how are operators meant to do a job if they're constantly under threat of facing, trial? It's the same as if you look at the armed police. You had his name was Martin Blake, the armed response officer who fatally shot Chris Cabba in London, went up to trial and got found not guilty rather quickly. The same thing is now happening to the UKSF, and you might have the same issues that the police have been having. The police have been down in their weapons. No one wants to go for the specialist role now because they're so criticised. There's so much pressure on them that most of them don't want to pull the trigger. But what people don't realise, right? You're in Libya. You're on a secret mission, okay? You're on operations that no one knows you're there. You're on a reconnaissance mission. You're following a suspect, right? Maybe you've been made, or, he's going faster, so you've had to speed up, whatever it is. And it goes from cold to hot. It does say here that in this newspaper article that they had a suicide vest primed and ready to go. So you've got a terror suspect, possible weapons in the car, primed suicide vests. You've got adrenaline pumping. You're in a country that no one knows you're in, and you've got to deal with the situation in split seconds, okay? A lot of these people who say they should be arrested, they should be charged, or write in these newspapers have never been trained or never been in a situation where you've got to make these split-second judgments, okay? It's hard. If you feel there is immediate threat to life, then you need to neutralise that target straight away. If there's an immediate threat to life, you're going to neutralise it. Whether that's to yourself, your colleagues, or anyone else in the area, you neutralise a target. British Army, we act under rules of engagement. Special Forces will be under a separate rules of engagement because their missions and operations are completely different to what we are under, but they will be under some form of rules of engagement. They would have been told you can use force in this situation, okay? They've got their SOPs, etc. But my worry is people are going to stop going and stop applying for SF. You're going to get the guys that always want to do it, their whole career they've been focused on joining the Special Forces. That's what they want to do. But you're most probably going to get people to go, well, why would I go there? Yeah, I'm going to get more operations, but I'm just going to be facing trial and courts all the time. It's absolutely ridiculous. Leave the guys to do the job that they need to do. So for those that don't know, United Kingdom Special Forces is made up of 3 main regiments. You've got your 2 sort of fighting close combat regiments, to keep it simple, the SAS and the SBS. SBS more maritime, SAS sort of army, SBS Navy, and then you've got SRR Special Reconnaissance, who specialise in reconnaissance. The guys going SBS and SAS, if they're constantly under threat of court, then are they really going to want to do that job? We've got what, 13 to 15 operators possibly facing murder trials if these news reports are true. The regiments aren't big. I don't know the numbers. They will never release the numbers, but they most probably aren't that big. If you look at the size of the army, 72,500, Navy's even smaller. You know, it doesn't take a genius to figure out we haven't got hundreds of thousands of special forces operators. But you've got to leave them to do the job. They do a very, very dangerous job, and they're skilled and highly trained to do a job that the majority of people can't do and don't want to do. But they do need them. For those that don't know, there is most probably hundreds of terrorist attacks that are stopped every year in UK or around the world that the UK put a stop to, that they neutralise. They're the ones you don't know about, and you do hear about a few here and there. There's constant threats on this country that you do not know about. And it's these guys, it's the police, it's MI5, MI6 that are out 24/7 stopping them. And sometimes you have to pull the trigger. You have to do, these people who write these articles or will comment saying they need to be charged, you know, they're murderers, that they don't want to do and they can't do because they just think we live in this peaceful world. We live in a peaceful world because of people like this. They need to be left alone. Why can't we leave them alone to do their job? You might get the odd occasion where someone may have to face trial. They have used excessive force, but for me, this just seems like they are just going after everyone. Like, we've got the guys from Northern Ireland. We had Brian Woods and his team from, I think it was Iraq, in, you know, early, late 2000s, went through a horrendous court trial. It's lawyers trying to make money. They will support and help anyone as long as someone is lying in their pockets, in my personal opinion. Just leave them alone. It's absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe there's 5 more up for trial. If you look here, so you got the 5 guys here. Where was it? You got an incident apparently in Libya. You got the incident in Libya. Apparently you got an incident in Syria, and then you've got an incident in Afghanistan. Obviously, like I said, the MOD and, you know, the military have not commented. They will not comment. But I just don't get why we can't leave these guys alone. It's shocking to me. I think you're going to start losing blokes like the police have. They don't want to go for the specialist roles. They're stepping back. You know, they're too scared because they feel like they're going to be prosecuted for doing their job. Try and put yourself in their boots. In a situation where someone is highly and extremely dangerous, there is a chance that you, someone else in your team, or some sort of civilians in that area could be seriously or fatally hurt. You feel like there's an immediate threat to their life. You need to make a decision like that. You haven't got to go, right, I'm going to think about this. You've got to make it like that. You know, you think you see, or you know that he has some form of suicide vest in that car and it's primed. You think you see him go to push some button, make a phone call, lift up a weapon. That's how quick you've got to make a decision. You've seen it, make the decision, what you're going to do. That's how hard it is. You go into a building, you're clearing a building, it's night time on, you've got night vision on. You go in, you've got rounds like flying in and around you around these buildings. You've got explosions going off. You can see trace around you. Kick a door down, you go in a building. There's someone in front of you, looks like they've got a weapon, lifts up, their arms lift up. You've got that split second to make that call. Friendly, not friendly. That's what you've got. In a building, go. There's someone in front of you, split second, because it's either you or him or someone else. Leave them alone, in my personal. We need to leave our UK Special Forces alone. We need to leave our military alone to do their job and make them not feel like they're under constant pressure of being prosecuted. But I would really be interested to know what your thoughts on this. Please always leave constructive comments. bad or good, whether you agree with me, whether you don't. I'll happily have a debate with you in the comment section. Whether you think I'm wrong, I think you're wrong, as long as they're not aggressive or anything like that. I won't delete them. I'll read them. I'll most probably laugh, but I just, whatever. I don't delete comments. But yeah, if you've got anything constructive, whether you agree or not, please put it in the comment section. But thank you for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.